Good evening, everyone. I'm Riley King, and welcome to this evening edition of the Riley King Newscast, right here on the Riley King Network. We have a lot of news to get to this Tuesday evening, so let's begin. First up, let's take a look at your COVID-19 numbers in New Hampshire. And here's a look at those COVID-19 numbers in New Hampshire for all of you. There are 77,252 number of people in New Hampshire tested positive for COVID-19. There are 1,185 number of deaths from COVID-19 in New Hampshire. There are 73 current number of hospitalizations for COVID-19 in New Hampshire. And that is a look at your COVID-19 numbers here in New Hampshire. COVID-19 cases in New Hampshire dipped below 2,000 for the first time since November. One more Granite Stater dies as hospitalizations decline. Many New Hampshire towns holding elections meetings Tuesday. COVID-19 precautions in place for town meeting day. Let's take a listen to that video from WMUR News 9, Ray Brewer.
The Season Pass Spring Sale is on right now at Gunstock Mountain Resort. Don't miss your opportunity to score the guaranteed lowest rates of the year on next winter's all-inclusive skiing and riding with tons of benefits.
In a small town in New England and New Hampshire, tradition is really important.
This year, though, the tradition of town meeting in Lee and elsewhere in New Hampshire looks a lot different because of COVID-19. In Lee, they opted for drive-in voting.
It's the safest way to do it. And if it's the safest way to do it for our poll workers and for our voters, then it was an option we took.
Throughout the morning, turnout was light. In part, the moderator thinks because there aren't a lot of hot-button issues on the ballot. But officials also tried to keep voters from showing up all at once.
We gave them some instruction about spacing out based on the alphabet of their last name, and it looks like it's working fine.
Voters are asked to wear masks, and so far the moderator says it hasn't been a problem getting people to comply. But they are ready if someone objects.
If they refuse to wear a mask here, we can look at their ID remotely, and so we don't have to be really close in their space, and so that's worked out okay so far.
While it might be working out all right, Quigley says once COVID is in the rearview mirror, they will be back indoors.
A lot of people have been in town a long time. They really want to be in the same room with each other. They want to smile. They want to shake hands. And this is not a preferred system.
While this is obviously all new, poll workers say the response they've been getting from voters has been very positive, that things have run smoothly. In Lee, Ray Brewer, WMUR News 9.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. Man uses Apple Watch to call 911 after falling through ice in Somersworth. Firefighters responded within 5 minutes to safety rescue. Let's take a listen to that video from WMUR News 9.
The Season Pass Spring Sale is on right now at Gunstock Mountain Resort. Don't miss your opportunity to score
The nurse at the ER said, buy a lottery ticket.
William Rogers is lucky to be here and smiling tonight after a close call nearly cost him his life.
And of course, the hard part is thinking about my family. Nobody ever wants to get a call like that.
The tech school teacher has been ice skating almost his entire life. Yesterday, he made it 100 yards off the shore of Salmon Falls River in Somersworth when the ice broke.
It's that terrible feeling. Oh my God, I'm going in the water.
His glove is still there, next to the hole he fell through.
First thing I did was tried to walrus up on the ice, and knowing that I needed to get out of the water as quickly as possible. And the ice just kept on breaking underneath me.
No one was around. He couldn't reach his phone, and hypothermia was setting in.
I remember telling myself, okay, don't panic, figure out what your options are here.
As his breathing labored,
That's when it occurred to me.
Rogers turned to his Apple Watch.
It worked, saved my life, I think.
He called 911.
So I told them that I probably had 10 minutes before I was not going to be able to respond anymore.
Somersworth firefighters were there in 5 minutes, threw him a line, and pulled him out.
I'm really grateful for them, so thank those folks. I thank them.
Kept his wits about him, he remained calm, and he did what he had to do to ensure his survival.
This time of year, firefighters say going on the ice is a gamble, especially over rivers.
It's just really a dangerous situation getting on the ice, and like I said, at this point, no ice is safe.
Rogers learned that the hard way.
Don't go onto the ice unless you know exactly how thick it is.
And firefighters say ice is just too unpredictable in warmer weather, even for those who are experienced, as Rogers is. Reporting live, Mike Cronin, WMUR News.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. Concord teacher on leave after alleged incident with student, superintendent says. Superintendent says teacher used unauthorized physical action to get the student's attention. Let's take a listen to that video from WMUR News 9.
The Season Pass Spring Sale is on right now at Gunstock Mountain Resort. Don't miss your opportunity to score.
Well, this morning, a Concord High School teacher is on leave pending the outcome of an investigation into an alleged incident with a student. The superintendent says the teacher used, quote, unauthorized physical action to get the student's attention, but she did not provide any more details. The superintendent says the teacher is not allowed on district property or the district network until this is resolved.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. Suspect dead, hostages safe after standoff in Livermore Falls, Maine. Law enforcement from across Maine, Massachusetts, and New Hampshire responded to home. Let's take a listen to that video from WMTW News 8 Maine.
The Season Pass Spring Sale is on right now at Gunstock Mountain Resort. Don't miss your opportunity to score the guaranteed.
The man at the center of this standoff, identified as Donald White, is dead. Now, the police say it all started as an armed intruder here on Knapp Street in the town of Livermore Falls. Yesterday morning, officers were met with extreme and dangerous conditions when they arrived, as Donald White, they said, had taken several hostages. Police called it a hostile and tragic set of circumstances that ended with the hostages escaping unharmed and police negotiating with the suspect for 14 hours before he was eventually shot and killed.
The situation is now resolved. Mr. White is deceased, and all 3 hostages are safe. There are multiple explosive devices still in the residence, and the scene will remain secured until we can make everything safe.
And you can see back live at the scene, that is why the street is still closed here. What we don't know still is the connection between this Donald White and the 3 hostages. Why was he here? What was the motive? Questions police did not answer today. The officer who did fire the fatal shot is on paid administrative leave, which is standard practice, of course, while the Attorney General's office investigates all officer-involved shootings. So we're still working to get more details about what happened and who these people are, and we'll have more updates as the day goes on. But for now, we're live in Livermore Falls. Jim Keithley, WMTW News 8.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. Dump truck driver accused of using cell phone before deadly crash in Pembroke. Thomas Taylor charged with manslaughter, negligent homicide. Let's take a listen to that video from WMUR News 9.
The Season Pass Spring Sale is on right now at Gunstock Mountain Resort. Don't miss your opportunity to score the game.
And in Pembroke, a man is now charged with manslaughter and negligent homicide for a deadly crash in May. Police say Thomas Taylor of Andover was using his cell phone when his dump truck collided with a woman's car on Route 28. The 81-year-old driver was killed. Taylor has been released on bail.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. Biden stimulus package heads to the House for a vote.
Washington now. President Biden's nearly $2 trillion COVID relief package. The House likely to vote tomorrow. Checks should roll out later this month after President Biden signs the legislation. Senior White House correspondent Mary Bruce has the latest. Good morning, Mary.
Good morning, Georgia. One last hurdle here before this massive $1.9 trillion stimulus bill reaches the president's desk later this week. The House is now likely to vote tomorrow morning. And while some progressive Democrats have voiced concerns about the changes made to this bill, like stripping that $15 minimum wage hike, it is expected to pass. The bill, of course, includes those $1,400 checks to those making up to $75,000 a year. Those making up to $80,000 will get a smaller payment. It also extends federal unemployment benefits through early September at $300 a week, and, of course, includes billions of dollars for vaccinations, schools reopening, and state and local governments, George.
And, Mary, the bill will go to the president's desk immediately. Once he signs it, he's set to give his first primetime address to the nation.
Yeah, George, it will be a big moment for President Biden, his first primetime address, marking the one-year anniversary of the coronavirus shutdown that has changed virtually every aspect of Americans' lives. We are told he plans to address the suffering and sacrifices that Americans have made, honor the lives lost, and also look ahead, urging Americans to do their part to fight this virus so we can hopefully finally get back to some sense of normal.
As Dr. Jha says, we are getting close. Mary Bruce, thanks very much.
Well, hey there, GMA fans.
Okay, and that does it for this evening edition of the Riley King Newscast, right here on the Riley King Network. Thank you for watching. Have a great rest of your evening. See you back here tomorrow for another newscast. I'll have a news report coming up in a little bit. Good night and goodbye, everyone.